Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Zudi Pickups. In today's video, we'll be talking about the newly released Adidas Nite Jogger. So these shoes came out January 12th of 2019 for a retail price of $140. And I think that's like a really interesting MSRP. It kind of puts it a little bit above something like the Nike, but it's definitely under something like the Ultra Boost. So it's not, like the low end Boost, but not the high end Boost. It's kind of your middle of the line Boost. And I think that's where Adidas wants to place this shoe. And I think it's a wise move. I think, this is a really new aggressive silhouette that looks really good. And I think the goal of Adidas is to try to regain some ground that it lost in 2018 to Nike with a reasonably priced, good-looking shoe, and that is the Nite Jogger. So a little bit of background of this shoe. This is a brand new silhouette. However, it does take inspiration from a shoe of the same name that came out in 1976, the original Nite Jogger. And as you can see, I'll put up a picture right there. The original Nite Jogger and the new Nite Jogger look really nothing alike, but you can see that they did pull some inspiration from the original Nite Jogger, mainly the color scheme. The orange and the blue here really just come directly from the original Nite Jogger design. Also, you can see on the heel, they did take the little wavy kind of like orange design here, pretty much straight from the original Adidas Nite Jogger. But apart from that, the two shoes are pretty much totally different shoes. They bear almost no resemblance to each other. And I think that's a good thing because, this shoe, the design direction that they went with this shoe, the new Nite Jogger, is I think it's pretty awesome. It's kind of like this very utilitarian, almost like military inspired-esque design that I really love. The silhouette is really aggressive. It's almost like half Nike, half ZX500, and both of those shoes I really like, so it wasn't surprising to me that the combination of the two shoes would create a really good-looking shoe like this one. So let's go into some of the details of the shoe and check out what all is going on. So first of all, I want to talk about the upper. So the upper mainly consists of 5 different materials. First of all, you have the suede kind of around the toe cap and the main lace area. Second, you have the mesh that pretty much consists of the toe box. Third, you have this ripstop nylon material that consists of the lateral and medial sides of the shoe. Fourth, you have this just regular nylon material that consists of the tongue of the shoe. And finally, fifth, we have these reflective 3M panels on the heel. So all these different materials, they just kind of like melt together. They're layered on top of each other. It gives the shoe a ton of dimension, a ton of texture, and just gives it a lot of visual interest overall. And the thing that I like the most about this shoe is the attention to detail. So I'll just kind of like start from the toe all the way down to the heel, and we'll talk about all the little features that are going on. So first of all, you have this suede that just kind of wraps around the toe cap. You can see that there's a little bit of extra material covering your big toe. This is more or less kind of like a New Balance specific feature, but I always thought it was really cool, so I'm glad Adidas has started to do this. And you can see that there's some intricate stitching details here on the medial side of the leather. And the leather does kind of part ways halfway down the lateral side here to expose this 3M Fuse orange panel laying underneath, and that kind of creates this pretty cool Y shape right here. Afterwards, the leather panel continues down the lateral side and ends about halfway through, and you can see there is more decorative stitching along that leather panel as well. Moving to the toe box, you can see the toe box is made out of this very military inspired looking mesh material. It looks super rugged, it feels very rugged, and it also helps with the ventilation. So if you're sweating, this mesh will help you kind of like vent the moisture out. Moving to the lateral side and the medial side of the shoe, by far what I think is my favorite material, the nylon ripstop, consists of the majority of the materials here. So if you look really closely, you can see that diagonal ripstop pattern. That gives the shoe a ton of really cool texture, and it kind of really lends to that very like military-esque cool tech look. The three stripes on the medial side and the lateral side are printed, and they are printed in this kind of like really reflective 3M ink. But to top it all off, they did add some additional stitching on top of the 3M ink to kind of reinforce the three stripes and give it just a little bit of extra dimensionality. That's kind of like the key operating word here, I think, for the shoe is dimensionality. There's multiple layers everywhere, just kind of like adding and layering on top of existing pieces. Moving to the front of the shoe, we have the tongue here, and you can see the tongue is made out of a nylon material, very similar to what you see on a Jordan 1 tongue. At the top of the tongue, you have this suede label with some Adidas branding on it, and you can see that the tongue has been finished with that kind of like deconstructed open foam look. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this look on this specific shoe. I mean, the whole, I guess, like deconstructed look, I know it's like a huge fad right now. It's all the rage because of you know, the off-white Nike shoes. However, you know, there are shoes where that look good, and there are shoes where it doesn't really belong. And I think like the overall kind of theme of this shoe, it doesn't really fit this whole deconstructed look. So I feel like they just kind of threw this in there for the sake of having it in there. It doesn't really mesh well with the rest of the shoe, I'll say that. So I mean, if they just finished the tongue off with some regular piping, some 3M piping or something like that, I think that would have looked a little better. But I mean, that's just my opinion, so we'll just leave it at that. So moving on, we have these crazy reflective 3M flat laces. The 3M on these things are popping. They're super bright. The laces just have a ton of that 3M thread in there, so whenever it catches light, it's just like a light show right here on the main lace cage. Finally, you have some suede accents surrounding the lace cage here, and the eyelets that aren't reinforced with the suede do have some reinforcement stitching all around for additional durability. So moving along to the back of the heel, you have these really crazy bright 3M panels. Like I said, the wave pattern inspired from the original 1976 Nite Joggers. So you got this super high vis orange 3M panel and this super high vis silver 3M panel. Anytime they catch a little bit of light, you know, you're gonna see that 3M flash. It's a really cool look, and the orange just really helps the entire shoe pop like crazy. I gotta say, this is probably the feature that really makes the shoe stand out above the others. Moving to the inside of the shoe, you can see that the inside of the shoe is done in the same blue colorway as the outsole right here. It's made out of this, I don't want to say like neoprene, but it does kind of feel like a neoprene type feeling liner. There's a little bit of padding, but not much, but it will help with some sweat absorption. The sock liner of the shoe also has some Adidas branding and some Nite Jogger branding, and it is done in this black and blue color. So moving out of the shoe, one last thing I would like to talk about on the upper is this kind of like heel stabilizer piece right here. So this is like a TPU plastic piece, and as you can see, it kind of like lives halfway on the midsole and halfway on the upper, and it acts as essentially like a heel counter but lower, so it helps you kind of keep your heel in place when you're wearing the shoe, and it just basically keeps your heel from falling off the midsole when you're wearing the shoe. Just really stabilize your heel. Apart from having that functional role, it does really add a lot to the aesthetics of the shoe. I think it really brings the upper and midsole together really well. So that segues us nicely into the midsole. The midsole is a full-length piece of Boost foam, and as you can see, it has been blacked out. The blacked out Boost, obviously, it's not actual Boost that is black, it's just regular Boost that has been painted black, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much black Boost. So nothing too really special to note here about the black Boost, apart from, I guess, one thing. So Boost normally has this horizontal shave pattern on it, right? And this shoe on the lateral side, you see that pattern like normal. However, if you turn the shoe around to the medial side, you can see that there's this little front portion of the medial side that does not have that shaved pattern. And it's just like this little strip of smooth Boost is just exposed right here. You know, you obviously can't see this very well. You just have to catch the light just right to kind of see that. Let's see if we can focus on the camera here. But yeah, it definitely is there. It's kind of like where the NMD clog would have been. And I kind of like it. You know, it kind of breaks up the texture of the boost a little bit, and it's like a nice little subtle touch. So yeah, that pretty much covers the midsole. Let's talk about the outsole now. So the outsole here plays a pretty important, I think, design role, because the whole blue and orange kind of theme from the original Nite Jogger, the little bit of outsole shown on the side here is the only place where you can really see the blue of the shoe when you're wearing it, because you know you're not going to be looking at the bottom of the shoe when you're wearing it. So this does play an important design role, because you can see the blue and the orange kind of peeping out on the medial side. If you flip the shoe all the way over, you can see that the blue kind of is this cool lightning bolt shape, and the blue does come up to the front of this runner style toe cap here, which is pretty cool. When you're wearing it, you can see that little bit of blue right there too. But apart from that, you know, this outsole is just like pretty crazy. It's like a super 90s inspired pattern. You know, you got the orange, the blue, and these like weird shapes. Very cool, very cool. Very thick outsole too. Oh, one thing, I thought this outsole, this kind of like greenish colored part was glow in the dark, because it looks like it's glow in the dark, right? It's like the glow in the dark color. However, it's not glow in the dark. It's just like that color. If I turn the lights off, you know, this does not glow green. So that's a major bummer. You know, they should have made this glow in the dark. I am very disappointed that this isn't, because I mean, it's literally called the Nite Jogger. Why wouldn't you make the sole glow in the dark? Come on, Adidas. So that's a major missed opportunity there. But I mean, what are you gonna do? However, one thing I think that does kind of make up for that is this little cool attention to detail. So here on the heel, it does say Adidas, and then you got these like weird little patterns at the bottom. It's like dots and slashes. And at first I didn't know what it was, but then I looked at it and I realized it was Morse code. So I plugged it in on the Morse code translator, and I was able to find out that it was Morse for speed of night. So that's really cool. And you can see the exact same branding here on the tongue. You got the same Morse speed of night right under the Adidas branding. My favorite part, however, is this small tiny bit of detail that I almost missed. On the lateral side heel, you do have the same Morse right here. It says N-I-T-E, so it says night right there in Morse. That is super cool. Like, these little details, I think, totally make the shoe. And I just love the fact they just hid little details like that all throughout the shoe. So, you know, mad respects to the designers. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the details and features of the shoe. I think now we should talk about the fit and comfort. So the two things kind of go hand in hand in this model. The materials that the upper is made out of, the ripstop nylon and the mesh and the suede, are not very elastic materials. They have no give. And because of that, Adidas kind of like made the upper a little baggy so it wouldn't be uncomfortable when you wear them. So because of that, when you buy true to size, the upper might feel really large. And a lot of people were reporting that, you know, you need to go a size down because the shoe feels large. However, I would advise to not do that. I mean, Adidas made the shoe baggy for a reason, and that's because if you size down, due to the lack of elasticity of the upper material, it's gonna really constrict your foot and make it uncomfortable. So I went true to size, and I think it fits my foot pretty well. When I tighten the laces down, I feel no discomfort whatsoever. I feel like if I went down a size, I would have started to feel a little discomfort on the top of my foot here. So definitely stay true to size and wear the shoe a little big. Apart from that, the comfort is pretty good. I mean, it's a full length of Boost. What more can I say? Boost is super comfortable. However, it is not as comfortable as something like a Performance Ultra Boost due to the fact that this is more of a lifestyle shoe. You know, the upper is not elastic, and then you got this really thick, luggy outsole here that kind of prevents the Boost from being really comfortable and like flexible. The outsole just is really thick, and you can feel that thick outsole when you're wearing it. However, all in all, you know, I would give it a solid like 7.5 out of 10 when it comes to straight up comfort, which is not bad. And I mean, for a lifestyle shoe, I think that's pretty good. So finally, let's talk about applicability and wearability. So this shoe is, I mean, it's a good looking shoe, and it's a black shoe with really cool kind of like bright orange highlight. The overall kind of militaristic theme of the shoe does really lend it to more kind of like tech wear fits, like, you know, tapered tech wear joggers that use like really techy materials would look good. Pants with like cords and drawstrings around the ankles would really look good around this. But, you know, that's not to say that you can't wear this with like more normal pants, because you could totally wear this with some tracksuit pants. It will look great. And the overall kind of like vintage aesthetic of it that it does kind of share from the original 1976 Nite Joggers means you could kind of pull this off with like maybe some pin-rolled chinos or some pin-rolled jeans. Just be careful that you don't go too dark on the jeans, because the dark navy on the jeans could kind of clash with the black a little bit, and it could look a little weird. But overall, I think it's a super versatile shoe, and the pop of orange color will draw a lot of attention to your shoe in a good kind of way. So yeah, I think that pretty much concludes my overview of the shoe. I think I talked about pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Like I said, the silhouette of the shoe is just really beautiful. The design, it's really well done. It's probably not gonna be the most hype shoe of 2019 by a long shot. However, regardless of all the hype, you cannot deny the fact that this is a great looking model, and the price point is right. And I think basically we have a solid contender that could lead the resurgence of Adidas in 2019. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about this shoe, please leave them in the comments down below. So I am going to throw these on feet so you guys can see what they look like. And once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.